big roads. So sometimes we're taking, perhaps part of a street to narrow it down, still allowing for as much traffic as it needs, but giving some space on the side for a greenway. Sometimes it might be going through a park. Sometimes it might be through a neighborhood, common area. Sometimes it might be, again, a business district. It really varies. We don't have the power of eminent domain. We're not taking anyone's land from them. We work with the willing. So this might be, negotiating. Do we, have an easement? Do we have someone donate a piece of their land? Do we need to purchase an easement or something? We really just look at that given scenario. Again, talking to the community first. Is this where you want to connect? What are your key destinations? What are your priorities? And then we figure out how we can make it happen, whether that be with a municipal partner, a state agency, the local landowners. There's literally hundreds of partners to try to figure it out together. So it's a big variety.
I was mayor in Maplewood when it came through our city. And I can say that I was an advocate, maybe it was even my idea, to go under Laclede Station Road. So instead of taking the Greenway, it went through Deer Creek Park, came from Webster, through Deer Creek Park. And then we're going, how are we going to get on the other side? And I said, why don't you go under?
Right.
So they went under alongside the bank of it. Now it floods out. I don't know, floods out a lot.
It's sometimes the greenways are underwater, but rather that than somebody's home.
Right.
Or development.
And it's great, and people don't have to stop when it is, all cleared out. It's a wonderful shot. And I watched it from when I was, in office this is going to be a great thing for St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it's like every year you just keep moving forward with this. It's fantastic what you've been doing with it.
Well, thank you.
So,
thank you for that work too. That one's actually about to extend further through Maplewood and over to the city of St. Louis at Francis Slay Park.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there was always a discussion on how to get it there.
Yeah, yep. So it'll come out of that shopping center. We're under construction right there.
Right.
There used to be a McDonald's right there on the corner of Big Bend and Oxford.
They're making
and that's under
park
construction
now.
for a park and trailhead.
Yeah,
because the one from Francis Slay Park would actually escort you down to the River de Pear.
Right.
Yes. So this will be right at Francis Slay Park will be the confluence, if you will, of the River de Pear Greenway that goes down all the way to Carondelet Park and then also connects to Gravois Greenway Grants Trail, which gets you all the way to Kirkwood. And the Deer Creek Greenway that comes from Webster and Maplewood.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
It is.
It's really
you
neat.
could spend all day on riding around.
Yeah, you can.
It's going to be more about what you can handle than what it's about how many miles you can do at that point, which is an exciting problem to have that, you've got lots of options and people can get to lots of places.
Well, and you're not riding on the street.
Right.
And you're not having to worry about, vehicular traffic.
Yeah. They had a couple plans to go through, I think, downtown Maplewood or the block over, and we kind of oppose that, I know, trying to find a different way to go.
Yeah, it's coming on Greenwood.
Yeah.
So it won't be like right in the heart of downtown Maplewood, but on Greenwood to Canterbury.
Right.
And so that way it's real close to there. You could just, hop down from downtown and get there. Right. But you're not also like further congesting, a business district.
And it's safer that way too.
Yeah. And bring some new life to those businesses
Absolutely.
that are on Greenwood. Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So the latest one I think completed was Brickline downtown.
Yeah, Brickline Greenway we're finishing right now the section on Market Street between 22nd Street and Compton. So between the Energizer Park Stadium and Harris Stowe State University. So that is really exciting. It's about a mile and the big party will be on April 13th. You're all invited.
Good.
Yeah, I've watched that construction happen and it's very beautiful. And I appreciate what was done on Olive down by Harris Stowe, where it just went back to 2 lanes there. And the brick line for the bikes and for the walking path has kind of taken up some other lanes. What is the cost of something like that?
Great question. They really vary. I would say at this point, and again, remember that we're thinking about this. These are ADA accessible. So sometimes, in that case, it was pretty flat, but sometimes they require grading or ramps or things. For that project, it's probably between $15 and $20 million a mile. So it also includes the public art. It includes, the all new infrastructure, rebuilding the street. Sometimes it's new utilities or utility relocation. And so these are more expensive than some of our early projects, you can imagine, I'm sure, than the Deer Creek Greenway and Maplewood originally. But when you're in that urban context, you're really sort of rebuilding the city, and it's quite a different animal altogether.
And that's a nice benefit, Mark, for the city because they're getting, this Olive was paved, which is nice.
Market Street. Yes.
Market Street.
Yes.
That was a mess.
Yeah.
That was
it really was ready to be paved. Yeah.
And the city can say, well, hey, you've got that done for us now.
Very grateful to the partners at the city and Harris Stowe and the soccer stadium. Everybody along the way, Wells Fargo, all of those partners are are coordinating and making sure that we're doing everything the way that's going to work for everyone.
Now, I know a lot of the planning for that, you guys go out to the community. You have, I guess, my words, listening sessions. You talk to them. I don't know if you present, hey, these are some options. And then how long does this take from like, okay, we'd like to put something here in this part of the city. And if it actually goes through to fruition, like how long did the brick line take from beginning thought to almost completion here?
They certainly do. Again, they vary. I told you it'd be the answer to every question. However, it really depends on the project. I would say sometimes probably the soonest that you could go from just an idea to like starting construction is 2 years. That would be pretty fast in terms of thinking about all the different things that you need, community input, but then also the design and engineering, permits, zoning, or all kinds of things like that. Sometimes it will take quite a bit longer, depending on like this Brickline Greenway was an overall concept. We did an international design competition back in 2018.
Wow.
So not unlike the redo of the Arch Grounds, the Sierra River project, of which we were a partner. So we wanted to get a lot of big ideas, and we wanted to hear from the community for the project overall. So the Brickline Greenway is 10 miles, and it's, as many of you know, it's connecting Forest Park to the Gateway Arch National Park, Fairground Park, and Tower Grove Park, and many places in between. So we really started at that big concept level. It's almost like a plan within our larger plan. And then you break it up into segments, and then again, like this specific Market Street, that's probably more on that 3 or 4 years of design and study before construction. But this overall project, we're going on 9-10 years of thinking about the Brickline overall, but then you have to make the plan. What federal funding do you go after? How do the projects move forward? What are the routes that are going to make sense? Studying that technical feasibility. And in the city of St. Louis, you've also got, where do you have trolley tracks buried underneath? Where do you have, what are you going to find? What's possible? And studying traffic patterns and making sure we're still serving, the needs of traffic while also reducing and creating some space for people to safely walk and bike.
Yeah, that'll be great, because when we ride from downtown to Forest Park, we're going through Harris Stowe campus, we're going through the SLU campus, we're going down Pine, all the way to the park there. But when you cross Kings Highway, that's a real risk right there.
He has an electric bike though, so don't feel too.
That's true.
Don't feel too sorry for him.
Kings Highway's still a big street. We'll be going under on Clayton Avenue into the park there.
Isn't that great?
Yeah,
I think it's great when they get away from the traffic.
I do too.
Like that.
I do too.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. We're talking to Emma Clues. She's Vice President of Communications and Outreach for the Great Rivers Greenway. Don't go away. Don't put that bike up yet. We'll be right back.
As strange as it may sound, at Better Rate Mortgage, we love talking to people about mortgages. Everyone in St. Louis promises a better mortgage rate, but what you really need to turn that perfect house into your dream home is a better mortgage. At Better Rate Mortgage, we open the door to so much more. So where are you in the home buying process? Researching? Maybe wondering how much you can afford? House hunting? Get a pre-approval from Better Rate Mortgage. Ready to buy? Our team is ready to make your mortgage process fast and easy. Whether you're purchasing your first home or taking cash out to make your dream home even dreamier, our door is open. Come on in and get started today. We'll show you how. Call Sean directly at 314-375-3293 or online at betterratemortgage.com. Remember, at Better Rate Mortgage, a better rate is just the beginning. Betterratemortgage.com. NMLS ID 401335, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston. We are talking all things Great Rivers Greenway with Emma Clues, Vice President of Communications and Outreach. You guys have a great headquarters there at the
City Foundry.
City Foundry, right?
Yes.
If you've ever gone to the show there, the movie theater, I'm dating myself using these kinds of terms. You walk right by their office.
I didn't know that.
Stop by anytime.
Yeah.
And the Foundry is kind of an interesting place, not giving them a plug, but a shameless plug here. There's a lot of things to do there. You can shop, you can eat, and you can go to the movies, and you can visit the Great Rivers Greenway.
Yeah, yeah.
And stop in and see Emma. Say, hey, I heard you on St. Louis in Tune.
That's right.
Can you tell me more about what's going on? Speaking of more, what are the future projects that you guys have that you can talk about, and maybe some that you can kind of just will squeeze them out of you?
And do you have volunteers?
Yes. One thing at a time, y'all. Okay. So we have lots of future projects, incredible things coming up. I was just pulling up the event calendar to remind everybody, because we talked about public engagement is a big piece of what we do. We always want to hear from y'all. So there is an open house for Deer Creek Greenway in Rock Hill tonight from 5 to 7 at Rock Hill City Hall. There's also one on Thursday night for Deer Creek Greenway in Ladue City Hall from 4 to 6. So just have to shout out those ways to be able to really engage and, again, hear from people directly. You mentioned earlier listening sessions. Sometimes we're doing door to door, sometimes it's a mailing, sometimes we're having an open house like this where we get feedback. We might be going to your neighborhood meeting, where we try to be as many places as possible to reach as many people as possible. And yeah, those are projects that are kind of in the earlier days of planning. And so we really, that community input is critical. From a construction perspective, we just talked about Market Street. We also have other parts of the Brickline Greenway in construction. North Grand is another one that is actively working. It's looking great. That's another one where the street was way wider than it needed to be, and was actually one of the most dangerous streets in the country from a crash and injury and fatality perspective. In the 4 years of study, there were 700 crashes, 335 of them had injuries, 17 disabling injuries and 7 fatalities in 4 years.
Oh my.
And so we're thrilled to be reimagining that street to work for everyone. So not only is it not nearly as many lanes, you've got the Greenway on one side, but it also makes a difference for someone just crossing. If you're pushing a stroller across 7 lanes of traffic, that's a big, even if you're not on the Greenway, you're just going to the bus stop or, going to church, wherever you're going. It's now much safer even just to cross the street. So regardless of whether you're using the Greenway or just that's your neighborhood and you're getting around. But I digress. There's also construction going on. We're working toward construction for the next section of Centennial Greenway in Olivet. So we're making our way, if you are familiar with the Centennial Greenway that starts in Shaw Park in Clayton, it goes north along 170. And it ends right now at Olive.
Right.
And so we're working on the section. This is actually a abandoned railroad segment. So right between Chevy's and CVS, there's a little piece there that we're working on the design for that. So that will go into construction fairly soon as well. And gosh, we talked about Hodemont earlier.
Yes.
So the western trailhead of the Hodemont Greenway is under construction. Gwen Giles Park is a city park that's right at Skinker, like right at the edge of the city. So that's under construction to redo the park as well as put in the first part of the Hodemont Greenway.
See, Mark, that's what's interesting. Wow. It's just not the Greenway Park. It's building a park for kids to play in, having activities along the way. You have an eagle watching at the old Chain of Rocks Bridge, and you can ride there through downtown St. Louis to get to the Chain of Rocks Bridge.
That's great.
If you haven't been up there, it's one of the best places for eagles.
It's cool.
Wow.
And we redid the park on that side the Missouri side of the bridge, opened in 2024. So that's all redone. So if you haven't been up there recently in the last couple of years, I do highly recommend.
Wow.
It's great.
Yeah. I'd love to have a campground along the Greenway somewhere.
All right.
Somewhere you
She's listening.
Let's go
ride your bike and then
camp out.
Bike packing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, bike
Let's
packing.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, you're in charge of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of like a BV park, a bicycle vehicle,
There's
recreational area.
There's one up, I don't know, somewhere in Missouri where they do that.
Is that along Katy Trail?
The Katy Trail.
Yeah, the Katy Trail. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have one. Yeah.
Tough thing about that's really flat.
Is it?
Oh my
It
gosh.
is.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's a rails to trails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I've never been on the Katy
Oh
Trail.
man,
really.
it's
Isn't that terrible? But I haven't.
It's long too, all the way across the state.
Yes.
Right.
But you can ride across the state and then take the train back.
Now that's
Yes.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I haven't done it. We've gone a long way, but
Yeah. Have you been on the train ever?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just pardon
Been on
me.
the trail,
Okay.
I love the train.
I didn't get on the train until like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, for the first time. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but
You're
it was like,
39.
wow, I know for a long time now.
Yeah.
Yep.
GreatRiversGreenway.org, GreatRiversGreenway.org. And what Emma was talking about, these upcoming events, if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you can see some of those things. The volunteer opportunities that people can utilize, that you guys need volunteers to do a variety of things. What are those things?
Absolutely. The Greenways need you and they appreciate your support. So a lot of the things that we offer are, trash pickup, right? So that's easy. Almost anyone can do it. All ages are welcome.
Wow.
We also have
sorry, but trash has become really a problem.
We really want these places to be
Can't
beautiful. And
believe
taken care of.
we drive along the highway and I'm shocked at the things I see. It's like you just took that cup and threw it out the window. It's like, wow.
personal
I
responsibility.
know. I'm sorry. That's one of my pet peeves, though.
I mean, you're selling the volunteer opportunity. I appreciate it.
I know.
We need it. It's
You
right.
do.
It's
You
right.
really need,
Yeah.
and that's
right.
great that you're out there
We do
picking up
tons
somebody
and tons of
else's
trash
trash.
pickups. Absolutely.
Tons. It is.
It's also a good workout. You get some fresh air, and
Yeah.
it's really like I could do a trash pickup every day. There's also lots of great removing of invasive species like honeysuckle. So if
Oh,
you're looking
yeah.
to get some anger out and you really want
Let's
to like
do
rip
that.
something up out of the
Oh,
ground,
I
Yeah.
hate
get
those things.
get that bush honeysuckle out of
Get
there.
it out of there.
We also have some tree plantings. We've got partners like Forest Relief of Missouri, so we work with them to plant trees in public spaces. And then there's also some volunteer opportunities like being on a community advisory committee for the project that's coming to your neighborhood, or being one of our ambassadors that helps us staff our outreach booths. So we have, when there's an event in town, like we'll have a booth at Festival of Nations, or St. Louis Earth Day is coming up, or, different things like that. So we have volunteers that help us to give out maps and answer questions. And we have all kinds of volunteer opportunities. Feel free to check them out.
How do people get
Yes,
specifically?
on the website there is a volunteer section under Get Involved, so you
Okay.
can fill out that interest form, and Giovanni, our volunteer coordinator, will get in touch with you.
Our daughter lives in Kansas City, and they're just kind of getting going a little bit on this. You go down to Northwest Arkansas, they have a huge
Yes.
slug of trails down
Yeah.
there
Yes,
that they put
Razorback
in.
Greenway.
St. Louis is very unique to have this group and the support that they have through their funding and the outreach that they get through federal grants and other kinds of things and donations and the 501c3 to put this all together for our city and our region. It's just really wonderful. It's really wonderful.
It is really unique. I mean, to my knowledge, and somebody tell me if they've heard differently, but I don't know of any other entity that's structured the way we are. Many, many people in the world are building trails and building greenways, but to have 3 counties and 120 towns come together and vote on something to invest their sales tax dollars into,
Yeah.
connecting everything together is, to the best of my knowledge, completely unique.
Good luck with
So I
that.
really give St. Louis credit, the region, for doing this and coming together and voting for this. And it's really motivating for us as a team we're just, delivering this back to the people. That's who wanted it. That's who voted for it. That's who gives us the input and drives the decision making. And we actually have created an online challenge if you ever want to really understand what it's like to bring a greenway to life. So it's greatriversgreenway.org/challenge, but you get to make all the decisions. So how do you want to engage the community? What do you want to do about the endangered bats in the tree? How do you want it? When's your construction timeline? Basically, can you bring a greenway to life on time, on budget, and with as much impact as possible for the community?
Wow.
So it's a cool way to see all the different things that go into it. But yeah, tell me your high score.
Now, do you have a construction manager who is on staff who oversees these projects, or is it basically bid out and then that contractor handles the management of that?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
So we do bid out. These are we work with local contractors, both on the early design, landscape architecture, engineering side, as well as the construction side. But we have our project management team who do oversee and are out there checking, how it's going, doing those site visits, that kind of thing.
And you're also looking for a CFO?
We are, yes. If anybody would like to be our director of finance and admin, we wish our lovely Michael Carson the best in his retirement, but we are looking for a new person for that role.
I wanted you to get that on the air a little bit.
Thank you.
So vendors and partnerships, there's people who might supply some kinds of, other than funding for the Great Rivers Greenway, and also groups that you partner with. Talk about those specific opportunities.
Yeah, so many different partnerships. I worked here for 12 years now, and I've not yet thought of someone we wouldn't partner with because we're just everywhere. So again, challenge extended, if you can think of anyone. We have the partners, the municipalities and the cities and towns, obviously. We've got all of the county agencies and state agencies. We have nonprofits, churches, schools, companies, everybody along the way, because we just are embedded in these communities.
Mm-hmm.
So those types of partnerships to bring the greenways to life are very vast. And then we have partners. We mentioned TrailNet earlier. We have nonprofit organizations that might partner with us to do programming on the greenway. We're working with St. Louis Bicycle Works on some of their wonderful Earn a Bike and Learn to Ride programs. We have programs like STL Run Crew is a great meetup in town that does walking and running events, like, just community getting together. Beginner bird watching with St. Louis Audubon Society, you name it, that calendar is full of events. Everything we do is free and open to anyone, and working a lot with partnerships because they're the experts with bird watching, for example, right? So we'll welcome you to the Greenway, but then we'll really turn it over to them to teach you that skill. So we find a lot of value in those types of partnerships as well.
Now, along the way, like if you're riding your bike and you have a flat tire and you don't have the supplies, I've seen at some trails, and I'm not sure if it's on these,
Mhm.
that there are like a bike maintenance area.
Yes, we do have a few of those bike fix-it stations. So it's got like a stand, so you can put your bike up and work on it, and then you've got your basic tools, to be able to change out a flat. If you know what to do, the tools are there, just like on a cable cord, that
Right.
you can use, so they stay there. But yeah, happy to provide those, and sometimes we've even had like a local bike shop donate that for the Greenway, which is wonderful.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Now, the foundation, tell us a little bit about the foundation. I know it's kind of separate from the organization, but they collaborate in a variety of ways.
Absolutely, and yeah, very integrated. So the Great Rivers Greenway Foundation, you can remember that one, is our opportunity to really work with those who are so excited about the greenways and want to give back. And so people can invest, their dollars, whether that be just a, $5 a month or something where they want to give several $1 million to a big project to make it happen. We're working with folks all over the region, and those are, fully tax deductible gifts that can go, to a traditional nonprofit rather than a government agency. And then they also work on doing some of their own programs and events. So they have a Mornings Outside series that they're doing right now for some of our friends of Great Rivers Greenway, just to make sure that we're getting people out to the greenways, and maybe ones that they've never been to. Sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but a lot of times you have a go-to, right? That's closest to you. And so it's a great opportunity. All of our programs and events are ways to get people out there a little bit more. And they do have something coming up. I will just say, I got to plug. They've got something coming up on Sunday afternoon. Urban Chestnut Brewing Company is hosting us for Steins for Support, which is their local give back program. So got to give that a shout out as well.
Good.
Oh yeah, I love it. Go.
You
Everybody
mentioned
go.
art.
Yes.
What kind of art? And I know Metro has art along
Arts
the
and
Metrolink,
transit.
and some people might go, who cares? I'm out there looking at nature. I'm just walking. I'm just bike riding. And a lot of people, when I'm on the trail, they're plugged in rather than being plugged into nature and listening to the birds or whatever. So talk about the art. Why the art, and how do artists, local artists, get a possibility to have one of their sculptures displayed?
Absolutely. Public art is a great opportunity to really enhance the Greenway experience and also to connect you to St. Louis. So we think of public art as one of the tools of interpretation. So if you are thinking about all the stories of the places that you're traveling through, you might learn about those through a sign, you might learn about those through a tour, but public art is another way of learning about this place. And that might be what's happening right now. It might be something from the past. And throughout the Greenway, some of the pieces are just about being beautiful and adding to your experience and something to see. Some of them are temporary. Some of them are permanent. We've done temporary banner exhibits, especially on North Grand, where the Brookline Greenway is now under construction. Before it was there, we had 4 local artists do banners on the street light poles to kind of help signal, hey, this is going to be coming, and let's celebrate some of the stories of our neighborhood before we even build the thing. Sometimes it's also, there's a mural, for instance, if y'all have ever been to the Mary Meacham Freedom Crossing, the Underground Railroad site that's about 3 miles north of the Arch, there's an amazing mural on the side of an MSD facility, thank you, to be able to help interpret that story. And so, because, you might, like you said, you might just blow right past and not think about, oh, this is where people cross the river to try to, attempt to get to freedom. And so things like that can make you, pause and reflect or spark your curiosity to learn more. We're certainly not the keepers of all things history, but if we can put up, right now we're working on that Pillars of the Valley installation is on Market Street, the segment we were talking about. So Damon Davis is an artist that lives here, works all over the world in all different mediums. And he created the Pillars of the Valley as a tribute to the people of Mill Creek Valley, which was sort of our Black Wall Street, and was, 20,000 people were displaced and hundreds of buildings were demolished in 1959, 1960 during the time of urban renewal. So if those Pillars of the Valley can spark your interest to go check out Gwen Moore's incredible exhibit at the Missouri History Museum, for example, that's a great opportunity for people to learn about it just as they're going into the soccer game or just as they're taking a walk to get to work. And to your point earlier about how can people get involved, if anyone, whether it's an artist, engineer, contractor, if you go to our website, at the bottom of of every page is a subscribe button, and we do have email alerts for any opportunities that we put out. So if you want to know when there's an engineering contractor, when there's a call for public art, you can subscribe to all those specific opportunities.
Is there a way to determine how many people utilize all of the greenways or a specific greenway during a year?
Doesn't he ask good questions?
He does. We do have a way. We have our best guess.
There's hidden cameras.
Yeah, no. Hey, take it easy. Take it easy. You didn't hear, no. No, we have the brand that we use is called Eco Counters. So
Okay.
these are a nondescript brown pole, and it's just an infrared sensor to know whether someone is passing or not. So it's not a camera. We don't know who they are, but we do know whether someone is passing that spot and which direction,
Mhm.
and whether a bike is present or not. So
Okay.
obviously they might be walking, running, other things, but they can sense the metal as well.
Wow.
So we have a sense of it, right? So now
That's good.
those are just in some spots along the Greenway. It's not a perfect science, but
Right.
it's a way for us to project. We have about 3 million trips on the Greenways every year.
Wow.
So we know people are using them.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean 3 million unique people, right?
Right.
But 3 million trips.
Right.
And so, some people might never go past a sensor because they're on a different part of the Greenway.
Right.
And some people might go past it 10 times because they're doing laps.
Right.
So,
Right.
so that's an estimate of what we're able to track. But it also really helps us understand, on a sunny Saturday morning on the Centennial Greenway in St. Charles, you have a ton of bikes. You've got a lot of people out there. They're having a great time. On a rainy Monday morning, there's almost no one. And that helps you start to understand this is probably not for transportation. This is probably more of a recreational
Right.
Greenway,
Good
which
point.
we have a sense of, but it's
Right.
good to have that data. Whereas the St. Vincent Greenway, that's just north of the Missouri History Museum, that parallels the Metrolink line all the way up to Umsel,
Mhm.
rainy Monday morning, it's still cranking. That's people are using that to get to transit. They're going to work, they're going to school. And so that the eco counters, while we don't know who's out there, we do get some hints as to how they might be using it, which can help us plan what kind of amenities I might need, maybe where a bike fix-it station would do well, that kind of thing.
Right. That's really valuable
Oh,
information.
Yes.
Really
That's
valuable,
neat.
especially for future planning and the utilization of what's going on. And then your
Yes.
maintenance, how you're going to maintain it, things like that.
Oh, yeah.
And how it might change over time too. So
Right.
sometimes as they get more connected, it might change the usage.
Right.
If you can get to new places, it might not be just the local traffic anymore or different, they may evolve over time.
Okay. So I'm somebody from out of town and I see you on the elevator in a building and I notice that you have a name tag on that says Great Rivers Greenway. And I say, what's Great Rivers Greenway, Emma?
We are your regional public agency that's connecting the whole region together with greenways, so you can get outside.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
And then I'd say, do you have 5 hours so we can talk about it?
Give the 45-second because we're going up to the 20th floor.
And where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you from now?
Seriously, I'm from Resume Speed, Missouri.
Okay. Oh, God.
So yeah, I would say, so we work with communities all over our region to get their input and then bring to life this network of paved pathways that are accessible. We've got conservation projects along the way, public art, free programs and events all the time. We want to connect the St. Louis region together and connect all the incredible things that are here already so that people can really have a dynamic experience and increase the vibrancy in our region. It also increases our economic vitality, transportation options, public health, community connections, and the overall, just this is a great place to be, which we know, but it makes it more fun when you can go really connect everything.
Right. Doesn't she do a great job, Mark?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Great Rivers Greenway board and executive director. She does a great job.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you for coming in. You can stick around. We're going to be doing a couple other things, and I want to hit on your sidebar
Yes,
job
please.
that you have. It's not really a paid job, but we'll come back to that. And folks, hopefully we've tantalized you with what that is.
What could that be?
And what could that be? This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. Don't go away.
Everyone in St. Louis promises a better mortgage rate, but what you really need to turn that perfect house into your dream home is a better mortgage. At Better Rate Mortgage, we open the door to so much more. Whether you're purchasing your first home or taking cash out to make your dream home even dreamier, our door is open. Come on in and get started today. We'll show you how. Call Sean directly at 314-375-3293 or online at betterratemortgage.com. Remember, at Better Rate Mortgage, a better rate is just the beginning. betterratemortgage.com. NMLS ID 4011335, an equal housing lender.
This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868.
the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Yabba dabba doo.
Had a great conversation with Emma Clues, Vice President of Communications and Outreach at the Great Rivers Greenway, greatriversgreenway.org, folks. Unbelievable group. You need to connect with them, get involved, check their website out, see how you can assist with them if you can do that, other than utilize the greenways for walking or bike riding.
And I'm going to go. You can design one, a greenway.
Yeah, design
I'm
a
going to go
greenway.
design one. I want to see just how smart I am.
Yeah, we're going to destroy I-70 and put the greenway right there.
Right down the
You
middle.
heard it here first, people.
If they're not going to put Metrolink down the middle, we'll put the greenway down
Yeah.
the middle. That's
So here's a little mental floss. This is hard to believe. In 2008, now, got to consider the time, a survey of British teens, 58% of the respondents believed Sherlock Holmes was a real person, while 20% said that Winston Churchill was not.
Wow.
What are they teaching over there?
Oh, it's like, wow. Yeah.
And you know the state with the most area codes, Mark? Think about it.
Let me think. Missouri?
No.
Wait, the other one would be California.
California, 35.
Holy smokes.
That's what I thought. Followed by Texas with 27 and New York with 19.
Oh my God.
11 states have only one area code, kind of like Wyoming,
Oh,
North
really?
South Dakota,
Oh, okay.
probably Idaho.
Okay. That's weird.
Now,
11.
Missouri is one of the few states that has 8 states bordering it.
Wow. I know. It's a lot of horses, too.
California, you're out of luck with that one.
Yeah. Oh, they don't have anybody.
Jump in the
yeah,
ocean.
Right. That's it. They're going to fall in the ocean.
Yeah, they might.
Just wait till that big
That's a great earthquake.
earthquake. Yeah.
Could be.
What is it called?
The big one?
Yeah. It's a Santa. No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, San Andreas Fault.
Thank you. Thank you. Gosh darn it. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember. Okay. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You get old like
Is it
that.
San Andreas Day today?
No, no, but there are a couple, it's National Tortilla Chip Day.
Ooh,
Do you like tortilla chips?
I can dig that.
You can dig that. Okay. It's Flag Day in Mexico.
Well,
Hola?
there ain't anybody watching their flag right now.
Hola. That's the only thing I know. Oh, wait a minute. Where was that? National Steak Burger Day.
Do you
like
like
steak?
steak and shake?
Yeah. 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 Steak and Shake. That's right. Or Freddy's.
Freddy's good.
Freddy's.
burger.
I've been becoming a Freddy's fan lately.
Yes,
National Trading Card Day. Did you ever do trading cards?
I never did. Did you?
No, my son Michael's doing it with baseball cards.
Okay.
I am alarmed at how much they're worth. It's amazing. I'm like, what?
Some of them, especially the old ones,
Oh, it's unbelievable.
turn of the 20th century ones.
Uh-huh. And I'm having trouble with my my days of the days, but those are a couple of
Okay.
World Bartender Day. That's one of your favorites, I know. I know. At Twin Peaks Day, don't understand that one at all. But that's about, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where, if I've got anything else. Yeah, I've got nothing.
Emma's stuck around because it's really important to, we're honored that she's also a certified laughter leader. A small but mighty group of us have met up to laugh once a week for over a decade.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a book club, it's a laugh club.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is.
Wow. Really?
And
Yeah.
you do laughter yoga or
We do. So laughter.
How's that work?
Okay, laughter yoga. It's a little bit of a misnomer, so we just call it Laughter Club. But the doctor that invented it uses some of the same deep breathing as yoga, and so laughter is very good for you.
That's why we do laughter at the end of the show.
I mean, we all know this, but he was really studying all the benefits of laughter. It flushes that stale air out of your lungs, oxygenates your whole body. 1 minute of belly laughter is like 3 minutes on a rowing machine. That's just good time management. Okay, it's great for you. And so he was doing all this research, and he discovered that your body can't tell the difference between real and fake laughter. So it doesn't matter if you think it's funny, you just laugh anyway. It's good for you.
Really?
Which is like all exercise. Like, you don't have to like it, you just do it, right? So he created this practice. It's all over the world. It's in almost every country. There's thousands and thousands of clubs, and you get together and do silly little things like, okay, like let's pretend you're taking a laughter pill, and then you're throwing them to each other, whatever. Like,
Right.
And we basically get together and laugh for about 45 minutes. It's a very good workout, but it's a very non-traditional workout, but it's super fun, and it's a great way to start your Friday.
I initially thought that you're laughing at somebody who can't get in that yoga position.
There's a lot of that going on.
That's part of the beauty of it, is that you're not laughing at anyone, right? You're just laughing. You don't have to make fun of anybody. It's great.
No idea. We laugh all the time.
Yeah,
I know.
We do.
You're getting a good workout,
because we've talked about that. You sometimes it's a relief valve.
Exactly.
Other than crying.
Yes.
Or getting angry,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great relief valve, and we like to do that.
Idea that
so here we go, Mark. Do you have your joke that you were going to say?
I have one joke. Yes.
Okay,
well,
go for it.
I don't know if it's a joke. I went to the doctor the other day,
okay,
and he said, "How's your bowel movement?" I said, "Well, I told you this was not." And I said, "Well, I poop every day about 7 o'clock." He goes, "That's good. That's good." And I said, "I get up at 8." Thank you very much. I'm just trying. I know it's just okay. Go ahead.
Did you know that the rule I before E, except after C, has been disproved by science? Science, SCIENCE. If you have to explain it, then
he's an old teacher, principal. Even that's
even
worse.
Tablets were replaced by scrolls. Scrolls were replaced by books. Now we scroll through books on tablets.
Wow, it's really.
Two burly men came to my house the other day to lay new flooring in my kitchen. Once they'd moved the stove, dishwasher, and refrigerator out of the way, the job was done in no time. And when they were getting ready to leave, I asked them, can you put the appliances back? They waved a piece of paper in my face and demanded $45, saying, well, that wasn't in our contract. Being small and alone with my granddaughter just arriving, I had no choice but to pay. And a few minutes later, the doorbell rang. It was the two men again. They asked if we could move my granddaughter's car, which was blocking their van in the driveway. I told them there was a fee of $60. And you might remember this JFK, President John F. Kennedy statement when he was saying we're going to commit to getting a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Right.
And he said, we don't do this because it's easy. We do this because it's hard. Okay. So here was an inspirational message on a sign in a building. We do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it was easy.
I think it worse, Emma. Emma, you should run now.
This is great.
In the restroom at Walmart, I found a sign that read, think, on the mirror above the sink. So I pulled out my marker and wrote "Thope" above the soap dispenser to match it.
Wow. This is really bad stuff.
5-year-old daughter came and said to her mom, Mom, why is some of your hair white? Mom says, every time you make me sad, another hair turns white. The daughter says, her eyes got really wide. Mom, what did you do to Grandma?
Wow.
And Mark, river dance, I know you like to do river dance. It was invented by an Irish family with 7 kids, but with only 1 toilet.
That would do it. Yes.
Teacher's marking off the attendance roll when she comes across the name Hijkm, Hijkm. She says, I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Then spells it out, just like that, Hijkm. A girl raises her hand and says, that's me, it's pronounced Noel.
God, I don't want to encourage them anymore.
And I'm sure you do this at home, Mark. We don't throw away perfectly good food in this house.
No.
We put the leftovers in Tupperware, put the Tupperware in the fridge, let it go bad, and then throw it out.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Let's see.
I got a lot of styrofoam, like leftovers in the fridge.
You know, and a lot of restaurants have gone to, they try to do the paper thing, just
Mhm.
getting away from plastic, you know, all the plastic things. And lastly, warning sign. We don't care if you smoke in this room. We don't care if you play poker naked. However, both of these things are illegal in Louisiana. If caught by a state trooper, citations will be issued.
Wow. Take a bow there, brother.
I should have said Louisiana.
It's a tough Louisiana.
Louisiana. Well, that's all for this hour, folks. Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlintune.com. You can follow us there also. We want to thank Bob Berthasell for our theme music, our sponsor, Better Rate Mortgage, our guest, Emma Clues, and co-host Mark Langston. And we thank you for being a part of our community of curious minds. St. Louis In Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning, walk worthy, and let your light shine. For St. Louis In Tune, I'm Arnold Stricker.